What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm Super League. I'm Tasteless. With me is Artosis. So far, our only best of 5 today has been quite one-sided. Unfortunately so. The team is just so good, MVP Black.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Joker can come back. I really am. But right now, the teamwork, the way they are engaging is just too perfect.
Yeah, they are really on top of things. They're doing a fantastic job during the pick and ban stage as well, getting great compositions together, really building around the map, what their opponents are choosing, and what they're going for as well.
We're going to be going into game number 3 shortly here. But again, in a best of 5, they would have to win the next 3 games in a row. I'm just not entirely sure if they can do that. And by the way, if you get the chance, check out the exhibition match we casted earlier, because that was an incredibly close. It was just one game, but it was one of the best games I have ever seen in Heroes of the Storm.
Dude, it was really exciting back and forth stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, it was the StarCraft Brood War and StarCraft 2 players against League of Legends and Warcraft 3 players. It was a lot of fun, a real nail-biter. So if you get the chance, take a look at that as well.
Well, it's been a fun and long night. Beautiful Busan, the second biggest city in South Korea, known for its lovely beaches, of which we are on right now. I know you guys at home are jealous, but at least you get to watch some great heroes.
Yeah.
We have the 3rd game coming up very shortly here. Can MVP Black close it out early?
I think there's a high chance. Do you think there's anything specifically that Joker is doing wrong? Because I almost want to say, no, not exactly, until you get to the final engagements.
It feels like
they seem to know when to take the merc camps. They seem to know when they should try to disengage. They just aren't disengaging properly. And it's just the symbiosis of the spells being cast, the abilities being used, and also the fact that MVP Black is so strong at leveraging that level advantage. You know, we see them get to level 10. They abuse everything. They take all the right mercs at the right time. They get that lead. They stay up there. Level 20 comes, and they punish. And especially if you get to that late phase of the game, the difference between level 18 and level 20, that's a long road to get back to that for the other team to catch up to level 20. So that's a lot of room to really for them to bash you.
Well, you know, their positioning has been so great. Maybe they draft a more like aggressive composition. The early game, they're keeping up with it. So what if they go really early game based? Or what if they try for one of these later game compositions, because they've been staying close to MVP Black early on, but later in the game, it's kind of falling apart during those big team fights, as you said.
That is a terrifying match.
Yes, it certainly is.
That's from my nightmares, man. Well, we'll see. I mean, another factor to keep in mind here is the pick ban phase. When they are in the process of doing that, you know, one thing about the pick ban phase is it's not just, you know, when you ban somebody just because they're good at this or that hero's strong on that map. Whenever you pick a hero, the other team can't take that hero either, so you're also denying them the ability to have those advantages. And so there's a lot of strategy. When you get games like Heroes of the Storm or other games like it, there really is a huge amount that just comes down to trying to map out the proper composition. For instance, we were seeing the 3 tanks back there. Having those 3 tanks, and those 3 tanks specifically, allows for you to be able to get in there, engage, stun, punish, if you have to, escape. Let me tell you something. With the heat out here that we are experiencing, the humidity, that is a brave gentleman to bring the laptop out here. It is really hot out here at Hyundai Beach. Absolutely beautiful, but man, very humid.
If you don't have an iPad, I guess you got to bring the laptop.
I guess that's what you got to do, right?
Well, I'm excited for this next map. I believe it's going to be Cursed Hollow that will be going on, too.
I think you're correct.
We'll see here momentarily, guys. A really great turnout for the crowd. We filled almost every seat out there, and there were a lot of seats. Like, take a lot of seats, multiply by 3. That's how many seats we have out there.
I think that's the exact number. 0.3 repeating seats, actually.
It's quite precisely.
Well, let's talk for a second about, you know, being on the stage like this as a professional gamer. MVP is a team that has coached some of the best 5-on-5 game players in the world, some of the best StarCraft players, one-on-one game players in the world. And when you're able to get somebody to psychologically have that right mindset, have that right temperament, that's key when you're in a high-pressure situation such as this one. Joker these guys are a PC Cafe team. So, you know, they don't have the same background. They don't play on a stage of this magnitude ever before. So it's something that definitely makes it much tougher for them. And you got to think when the pressure's on like this, maybe the communication suffers a little bit as well.
Yeah, it definitely could. And MVP Black, having won so many tournaments, you know that they're really calm, cool, and collected in that booth, and you can really see it reflect in their play. They are executing these ridiculous saves on their heroes. Like, how many times did we see Murden get away with like 1 hit point last game? It's crazy, but they are playing just superbly throughout.
I've been informed we may be having small technical issues, so sit tight. We'll try to get that resolved as soon as possible. And when it is, we'll be jumping into this match.
Yeah, and make sure during this time, you know, go tell your friends that this is on, because a lot of people don't realize that now Korea's story in Heroes of the Storm has started here with Super League on OnGameNet. So go let people know, get them in here, get them watching. I think that this is going to be an absolutely fantastic tournament. And whatever team comes out of Korea, I am telling you, they are a contender for BlizzCon.
I'll tell you, Korea is the best at whatever game they take an interest in. And, you know, with Heroes of the Storm being so new, and also the fact that it is now on GameNet, which is a huge boost for Heroes of the Storm, it definitely gives them, you know, a lot more attention. On GameNet is a network that actually all the Koreans watch. They get it on cable TV. And so this is really exciting. This is just the beginning here for Heroes of the Storm. And the end of this year, as well as the next year to come.
Indeed.
It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. We are going to take a short little break here, and when we come back, we should have this issue resolved. So stay tuned. We'll be back after our technical issue is all patched up here at OnGameNet for the Heroes of the Storm Super League. And we'll have that coming up for you shortly.
We'll get some videos up for you guys in a minute here. But, yeah, I mean, here we are.
Here we are, Atosis. We're back here at Hyundai Beach. We've actually casted here a couple times before. But I got to tell you, it never gets old coming down here. I think this is easily one of the most beautiful locations in the entire country. This is where esports history was made long ago, back when I believe it was or I guess we're not sure now, but at the time, this is maybe like a decade ago, largest esports event at the time ever was here at Hyundai Beach for StarCraft Bird War.
80,000 people or something.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of big ones down here. I got to witness some of the old Pro League matches that took place on the beach. It's just like a fabled location, Busan, for the events. You know, we've been lucky enough to cast some of them, as you said.
Sure.
Of course, MC versus Seed, the GSL finals here at one point.
That
was really one-sided.
That was really one-sided. Well, this is really one-sided, but at least the sun set, right? Like we did that. We got the whole thing set up for that, and then it was going so fast. It was Protoss versus Protoss. We've seen plenty of great esports matches come down here at Hyundai Beach. It really is a truly iconic location. And it's a treat to be down here now with OnGameNet.
Definitely, if you visit Korea and you're here for a good amount of time, worth taking the train down. It takes about 3 hours to get here from Seoul, so not too far away, but they're really at opposite ends of the country. Kind of a small country overall, but has giants of esports, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting, too, as time unfolds, to see who is actually the best, because maybe MVP Black is the best team, but there's really no way to know when it's this young. We don't have enough teams organized. There's going to be a lot of players, probably coming from games like League of Legends, which is quite super saturated out here, coming back. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and throw the VCR up for you guys, but we'll be back in just a little bit. So stay tuned here and on GameNet as we get this technical issue resolved, and then ultimately go into game number 3 with MVP Black against Joker. What's up, guys? We are back here at the event, and I believe the technical issue is close to being resolved. There is a monitor out right now, and I think they're just going to replace it, and then we'll hop right back into this.
Yeah, so back again. Here we are, a little bit of fill time going on. So I'm wondering, Tasteless, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, what is your favorite hero in Heroes of the Storm? Your favorite to play?
Okay, so for a while I was loving Jaina.
Yeah, you played a lot of Jaina.
I played a lot of Jaina. I just recently got into Arthas, actually.
Yeah.
Who I think is fantastic. He was actually the hero I didn't play the entire time the game was out, but just recently I started playing him again. He's a lot of fun. What about you? Actually, and Leoric. I've been playing a ton of Leoric.
Oh, I play a lot of Leoric.
He's just, I feel like if you're not super skilled at games like this, you can play Leoric and not feel bad about yourself.
I see what you're
you know
saying.
What I'm saying.
Yeah, like he doesn't die and he always does a lot of damage. Well, I shouldn't say he never dies.
The thing is, even when you die, you're like, oh, I'm dead. Okay, when you start whacking them with your ghost form.
Exactly, but yeah, I would say like I play mostly tanks in this game. I like to be defensive, live a long time, keep people alive. That's what I do. So that's.
Artosis and I play together on Skype on the Korean server.
Yeah, we had a few fun games for sure.
All right, like attack him down here in the bottom. We're like, ha, got him.
We both ping the mercenary camp at the same time.
That's right.
It's like, oh,
because we share the same brain.
The Archon is Ryu. He plays Air2, I play Tassadar.
If you guys aren't familiar with us, we originally came to create a cast StarCraft 2. We're still casting. Well, StarCraft 1, yeah, that's true. We were casting StarCraft 1, knowing that StarCraft 2 was going to come out, and we've been doing that whole series for a long time now, about 6 or 7 years, something like that. But we love Heroes of the Storm. We're really excited about it. We think it's a great game, and it's something new. And as this show goes on, we're going to continue to learn more about how to properly cast this game for you guys, and more about the Korean scene and how these guys play. And it's going to be really exciting.
Yeah,
to
certainly
see.
It is.
Because whenever a game comes out and it is fairly new, it's cool because it's so different and everything is surprising, but at the same time, you don't quite have that story there.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot to work with.
Sure.
As we get into some of the other teams, there's some teams like comprised completely of ex-StarCraft 2 pros. One of the best teams in Korea has a bunch of ex-StarCraft 2 pros. There's StarCraft 2 champions that have switched over that are in this league. So some of those will have some backstory on, but overall, it's a new game still.
All right, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the map.
It is Cursed Hollow, guys. Now this map, it relies upon curses. You get tributes. They're going to spawn randomly throughout the map. There's 6 different locations that they could spawn in right there. And you go and you collect those. Once you have collected 3, then you curse the other team. And there it is. You see the tribute right there. You see a lot of fighting around because the curse is a powerful thing, Tasteless.
It is. When you're cursed, your minions die immediately. Your turrets do not attack. And, of course, this gives incredible map control to your opponents. So you really want to be careful. You also want to know when to pick taking a curse because you know you can take it versus not taking the curse because you realize it would only further put you behind.
That's right. Also, there are 6 different mercenary camps here. 2 siege, 2 knights, and 2 bosses. So it's very interesting to watch on this map when professionals take these camps because oftentimes they take them right before those tributes spawn, put some extra pressure on, try to make it so your opponent has a terrible choice. Do they fight for the tribute or do they clear out the mercenaries that you have fighting against them?
Also, we've seen a lot of times when the curse is actually activated, a popular moment then is to go for the boss. And try to take that on. Boss, of course, so powerful, especially for just shoving through one lane and eventually getting you that much closer to the core. This was when I first took a look at Heroes of the Storm, right when, the very first people outside Blizzard got to look at it. And I thought, Cursed Hollow, this is going to be the esports map. I didn't know they'd all be good maps, but at the time I thought, man, this is really exciting.
Yeah, you know what? I actually kind of agreed with you. I was like, well, this map obviously takes a lot of skill because I can't win a game on it. And I was just a complete noob, never played this type of game before before Heroes of the Storm, but I definitely have grown to love it. It's so strategic. It's so much. It's like a chess game at times. Like, okay, there's going to be a tribute coming up. Maybe I'll like push another area, make them move over there so that I can move down, take that tribute. A very strategic map, a lot of fun.
All right, we are now finally ready here for the band pick phase. And we're going to start out with Joker getting the first ban. Now we've seen, what was it? We saw Zeratul and, what was the other band we saw last time?
Zeratul and Jaina. And
that's
the
right.
time before it was Zeratul and Kael'thas.
Thank you. And now it's once again a Jaina Zeratul ban.
Yeah,
Can't say I'm too surprised, but by the way, you know, Zeratul and Jaina, Jaina's Blizzard as well as Zeratul's Void Prison, very strong on this map because it's got these tight little areas, especially around tribute fights, where you can just completely lock someone out or deal a ton of damage in a location and isolate the rest of that area right there.
Well, right now we do see once again a first pick Uther. You guys should be pretty well acquainted with him. A great healer indeed. Over on the other side, immediately picking up Kael'thas, late game's best ranged assassin character. They want to have that damage in the late game to finish off their opponents. And Leoric, one of the strongest characters right now in this game. The newest tank out there. He deals a lot of damage. It doesn't seem like he ever dies. And if he dies, he comes right back.
Yeah, Leoric's such a strong hero, so fresh. And wow, I mean, I'm seeing a pattern here, Artosis. We now got Vala and Tyrande. Tyrael, what am I talking about? Tyrael here.
Well, you know, Vala is definitely one of the top range assassins in the game. Really, it's Jaina, Kael'thas, and Vala. And people will argue over the order all day and their power, but they're all really fantastic range damage dealers. So good for them to pick it up. And of course, as we've been talking about, Tyrael, one of the really high picks just over in the East overall. Like China and Korea pick them up early every time.
And you can see out here, especially in Korea, they really know how to use him. They really know how to get him out there in the front, get the zoning correct. It's tough to engage because he's got the escape at the same time. If you see a moment where you can initiate, you can do just that as well, especially with the heroic ability.
Well, we have the second ban coming out here from MVP Black, getting rid of Joanna. She's just probably the best tank in the game.
Yeah, she just doesn't die, does she?
No, she doesn't die. She deals a lot of damage to pretty much everything. Not heroes so much, but she can keep people alive. She can keep heroes alive. She's just a fantastic hero.
And so now we're going to see Zagara banned again here.
Yeah, not a big surprise overall, I have to say. Zagara is just the amount of vision that you gain from her creep, the amount of control that she can have with her Maws on level 10. That Devouring Maw can remove heroes from the battle for quite some time. She deals a lot of damage. She pushes lanes. She does it all.
And just with the creep alone, it's so important to not get isolated and disjointed from your army, because if they can single out one hero from the rest of the group and just jump on him and take him out, it's pretty bad. And sick, we're gonna have Illidan.
Oh my God.
As well as
Muradin and then Illidan. I really wasn't expecting this, Tasteless. Illidan is one of the most popular characters in the game. He hasn't been chosen as much lately, but Illidan is, like, this guy can be your worst nightmare. He has so much sustain. He stays alive very well, but he gets targeted down quickly because his damage output is wild. He's a melee assassin. He gets on people, and he takes them out very quickly.
Well, this is going to be a lot of fun, actually seeing an Illidan here. And now we're going to go back to Anub'arak.
All right, I like the Anub'arak.
Finally, Arthas.
Oh, triple tank. All right, pretty cool to see. I mean, Anub'arak can definitely deal with Illidan very well if he takes out Web Wrap at level 10, that heroic ability. He can take Illidan out of the battle for quite some time, probably till the battle's almost over. And of course, Arthas is actually one of the few characters that can really deal with Illidan, like, kind of one-on-one. You know, if he has even a little bit of support, Illidan has to run.
So a lot of deliberation over here with MVP Black for this final choice.
Well, do you go Rhaegar? Do you go Malfurion? Do you do something crazy like an Abathur? Rhaegar it is.
Rhaegar it is. All right, let's do this.
Not surprised to see that at all. Rhaegar is going to be focusing his heals mostly on Illidan because the opposing team here is absolutely going to pick off Illidan as quickly as they can. So an ancestral healing from Rhaegar can bring his health right back up, just about to full, and let him continue to dish out his damage.
Well, let's see if Joker can actually make something work here.
I hope so.
I really do hope so. I feel like out of all the maps these guys could play on, I can't see them recovering from this one. It's hard for me to imagine.
Yeah, I mean...
The fights get so technical over the Tribute. They really do.
They do. They do. But, I mean, these guys, they have some great things going for them. Like, for instance, Uther is not so bad against Illidan. You have the stun for him. And whoever he's going after, like, if he dives on Vala, you can use the Divine Shield of Uther to just keep her alive. And suddenly, Illidan has to run out of there.
Yeah, you got to be careful with Illidan. You know, one thing to note as well, when you're playing with Illidan on a map, don't always destroy your opponent's corner walls, because Illidan can use that to actually escape back out of a lot of times. Sometimes it's worth it to take him down, but there's a lot of neat tricks you can do as far as flipping around and really outmaneuvering your opponent. But Illidan was more popular a little while back, and he's sort of...
He was
like not always phased out. I mean, also the game was a little bit different back then, but this is exciting to see him here now. I saw the crowd really excited about it. Anyways, we're going now into game number 2 here in the Heroes of the Storm Super League. I'm Tasteless, from these are Toast. We're at Hyundai Beach, beautiful Busan, and we're going to see if Joker can come back here against MVP Black.
All right, here we go, guys. Looks like MVP Black bringing most of their heroes to the middle. We do have Danawa Joker with 3 in the middle, but they've already spread out to the top and bottom lanes. Now, this is a really big map, so it takes a while to move across. You got to make sure you got your heroes down in those lanes reasonably fast. Make sure you don't miss any of that experience.
We do see Illidan tucked up here at the top. And similar to our previous games, a little bit of a skirmish here, but very quickly, MVP Black makes sure to rotate back up here and soak up as much experience as they can.
Well, right now we do have, this is just called like the laning phase a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's this part where you're just trying to pick up some experience here, trying to push these lanes, see if you can get any free kills on your opponent, like if they get out of position, if they go too far down the lane, sometimes you can get them. We got a nice stun going down on Illidan. Good freeze from Arthas there. Lior coming in to try to help out. Murden as well from the top.
Uther stuck down here, and beautiful blocking there by the Illidan.
Wow, really well done. Lockdown once again, really showing what a strong player he is. And that's the first kill of the game.
Well, it's already off to a pretty exciting start right now. Illidan, so good, especially around that little corner there.
Yeah.
You can really punish. We've seen Uther punished a lot early on in a lot of these games.
Yeah, Illidan's a very mobile character. He has a lot of escapes, a lot of dive-ins, a lot of ways that he can move himself around quickly, and it's hard to deal with him because of that. But hold on here. We actually have, it looks like they're going to be able to take down Tyrael. He's going to try to kill Sake, but not quite. Jumps out. Murden, another hero with great escapes.
Yeah, beautifully done there. And right now we have MVP Black about to hit level 4 here. We have Mary about to back out now.
Now, looks like he will be fine, of course, in that wolf form, a little bit faster than these other heroes on their feet. And we do have, it's slowing down just slightly now. We have a slight lead for MVP Black already. Love to see what Danawa Joker can do to try to start coming back from this. Try to get a little gank here on Lior, but you're never going to get him.
Yeah, I have yet, fresh in my mind, have a game where Lior is just killed off immediately early on. He's so good at that escape, and that's why I think he's probably the most independent hero in the game.
Yeah.
You can really kind of send him off on his own and he's fine.
He can lane against anyone. He can do just about anything, man. He can live forever.
Sometimes you got to wonder if it's just a waste of time to even invest that much resources into trying to punish him.
Well, right now we have this great situation for MVP Black. They got their night camp. It's pushing through the center and a tribute's up. So what can Danawa Joker actually do? And oh my God, they're actually just giving that. Okay, we do have Illidan jump in. A stun there on Illidan. Another stun on Illidan. Really great focusing here. Rhaegar getting up, trying to heal him. Illidan barely backing out.
Beautiful escape there. We see DJ Rhaegar. It's just a nice back out there.
Oh, I can't even believe it. The fact that Lockdown and Sake got out of there is insane. And don't forget, the Knights are pushing in the center, so every moment that they're over here fighting against MVP Black, they're gaining advantages up in the middle. But they do have Bala up there trying to take that tribute. Kael'thas moving down towards the middle of the map. In the meantime, Sign trying to take this tribute, but we do have a noob push forward to stop him.
And you got to remember, you only have so many well taps in this period of time. So if you can just wear them out, they go back and eventually tap. It's going to slowly end up in a situation where everybody's starting to run out of mana here. So something has to happen, and it has to happen quite quickly. We see Lockdown stuck down here, but it goes out and edges out. Now dashes back in. It looks like
sickest body blocks there on a noob, and he does get out. They kill off a noob. Rock, a great kill here. A lot of damage actually going down right now on Leoric. But it looks like he will be able to Wraith walk out once again.
Wonderfully done there. I love how actually in a lot of trouble right now.
Look at that.
Pretty wild there to see Illidan dive in. Yeah, just like the thing about Illidan is once he's on top of you, you just can't get away very easily.
No, really, unless you have a great escape on your character, you just have to sit there and fight him. And again, he heals himself for a lot. He does a lot of damage. He's hard to take out by yourself. You need a lot of backup to take on Illidan.
At times, Illidan doesn't always scale well in the late game, so you got to be careful about that. As
he can be blown up, yeah.
Yeah, he can get. Eventually, everybody could just focus on him, and the damage is so high. So it's going to be.
You know,
I'm really wondering how MVP Black handles, the kind of level 10 to level 16, 17 part of the game here. Because once we get past that, I don't know if he's going to be as viable. We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, that's going to be Rhaegar's job to try to keep him alive, at least. Right now, we do have MVP Black moving in, trying to take this. A nice poke there from Uther to stop them. But can they actually get in here and defend against this tribute?
Well, let's see. Joker's trying to push in. The problem is the angle here for Joker is not that good.
Yeah, looks like they are still pushing in. Nice stuns there by Nubarak, trying to push forward, doing a lot of damage to Leoric. Of course, he does get away. We have Tyrael jumping in right now. Leoric getting very, very low, and it looks like
Uther is so low. Uther goes down as Illidan dives in, and it's not stopping there. Arthur's very low as well.
Oh man, this
Leoric
Uther
actually coming around right now.
Uther, the ghost of Uther, really changing the tide of this battle, really healing all his teammates so much. Looks like Sake might go down. Murden does not make it out this time. And Danawa Joker has taken a fantastic fight at the tribute.
I do now question this Illidan pick here. We have seen some of these teams, go for some pretty, cool comps here, but that last little engagement, man, that was a tough one. But then again, I mean,
I think that
Uther really stepped it up, though, back there.
When he dies, Uther's ghost actually stays around and heals people very quickly. In fact, quicker than Uther normally does. So for a little bit of time, they had a lot of sustain in there, and that worked out very well for them. Right now, this game is really quite even.
As you can see down here at the bottom, it's going to be Tyrael having to try to escape over here again. Oh, nice blocking. Dashes over that way.
Really nicely done there by Tyrael. Will he actually get out? It doesn't look like
going to come in here and intercept. Yeah.
Oh my God, he might get out. In fact, they do have level 10.
Oh, beautiful block.
Oh, and right now Illidan does use his heroic. He is going to go through a metamorphosis. A lot of damage can be dealt. Leoric actually having to get out of here, and we do see Kael'thas throwing a lot of damage on, but they're getting low. A beautiful heal there by Rhaegar, though.
Illidan jumps in. Does he have the backup, though? It looks like he does. His Joker's starting to fall apart.
Are you kidding me here? Look at MVP Black. They are just tearing this team apart. They were so low. So many of their heroes were about to go down, but some really clutch healing, some really nice retreats, and then a turn really makes them take that battle down, killing off 2 heroes on Danawa Joker.
Very nicely done. Now clean up the middle lane. The tributes now spawning. This would be the third tribute in the game. It's now going to be 2-3 here in favor of MVP Black. So we'll see how Joker handles that next tribute.
Yeah, that's actually a really big deal. When they get the 3, once again, you become cursed, and it's a really big deal.
Oh, so close.
Oh, man, that was as close as can be. A nice try there by Sake on Mirrodin to take out Vala, unable to do so.
That was pretty brilliant. As the game continues onward now, we once again have Leoric just occupying the center here. He's so great at just shoving that lane. Kel'Thas continuing to rotate and deal damage wherever he sees fit.
And oh my God.
And, whoa.
Look at this.
This is, oh my. Oh no! This is happening and it's on TV.
Oh my
God. The boss just killed Illidan.
Look, that's a really big mistake. And you know what? They know they're on the boss, immediately turning, grabbing their own boss. But luckily for MVP Black, the tribute is right next to their boss. That is a huge lucky moment for them to be able to get that tribute.
That is the ace on the river there, man. That is beautiful. They get the tribute. So I guess it was very embarrassing that Illidan died.
It worked out fine.
But it worked out fine because they got that curse, which means the boss could then push.
It actually worked out better that he died because that told them to go for boss, which let them get the tribute. Oh my God.
Wow.
Good for MVP
What
Black.
a weird game.
Yeah, pushing forward now. We have some flame strikes going down. Looks like they will be able to get this fort. In the meantime, don't forget, a boss is in the bottom. He's taking down a fort of his own.
Let's also point out that the boss was taken. It was actually captured at like the same second as the tribute. The last tribute was taken. So this is like optimal amount of time for the boss to dish out an insane amount of damage.
Dude, they might get a keep at like 10 minutes. It's a possibility. In the meantime, the boss of Joker, of course, going up top. It is being taken out by the fort. It won't make it too far, but look at this. This boss has a lot of health tasteless, and the curse is still going on for another 12 seconds.
As you see, the Phoenix is now being casted up here. Remember, with the curse, all the minions of the curse team, they die within one hit. You know, the turrets won't fire, so that your base is no longer as safe as of space as you'd want it to be. Again, the boss still dealing damage here while this pursuit is going on.
Well, they are going for it right now. Tasteless really pushing back. They want to get some kills here on MVP Black. A beautiful heal does, in fact, go down, but Kel'Thas will, in fact, fall. Looks like we do have Vala with Divine Shield staying alive, dealing a lot of extra damage here, and we have Mirrodin fall. Rhaegar's getting low.
And nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, really. But he's getting pretty low! Can he actually do it? And that swing from Leoric doing so much damage. Ghosting, no, not ghosting at the last second, not hitting that key. 1 versus 4.
Wow.
But by the way, the boss, I believe, has worked his way
oh my God.
almost, excuse me, nearly up to the core.
They got to keep this early. That is
and let me tell you
huge.
something, Artosis. Because it's the bottom lane, next time boss spawns, you can punish that and have him push there again.
Seriously, it's a really big deal, guys. And don't forget, for the rest of the game, catapults will be pushing that lane for MVP Black. Danawa and Joker going to have a very hard time.
Well, that, I got to say, nice, you know, a bit of a recovery, you could say, there from Joker. They at least won that team fight. But I would take losing that team fight any day to have actually carved a hole like that,
you know,
into their base.
They paid a high price to get those
They certainly
kills.
did.
And did they gain from it? I don't think so. They like cleared their knights and then went back. It's like, well, I don't know if that was the greatest move, but we'll see if it works out for them. They're pretty close on levels. We will have 16 first for MVP Black, which gives them an additional skill, which means we really need to see Danawa Joker clean up some lanes, get that experience, and not overcommit to a fight before they have the same level.
Well, they're going to go ahead and rotate up here to the top. MVP Black looks like they're pretty confident in just engaging again over here. And, you know, with the Phoenix set up right there, you can see they can really zone out.
Kind of a funny Divine Shield there by Uthra, maybe a misclick or something at full health.
That was funny, wasn't it?
Well, They take down that fort with relative ease here. Now,
I got to say, the tribute spawns have been pretty incredible here for
yeah, they have.
for MVP Black.
Again, it's
granted, this is closer, yes, to the Joker side of the map, but it just so happens the whole army was.
They just happened to be there.
Yeah, just moving through there.
They're like, oh, I guess we can.
I still can't believe we saw a boss kill a hero on TV.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
it happens sometimes. It's embarrassing when it does.
It
so
is,
you're right
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
Well, it looks like they are going to go ahead and push up here after grabbing that tribute. They have these siege giants adding some damage onto it. We do have the Phoenix come down to add damage also. And there's not a whole lot right now that Joker can do but kind of sit and wait for that Phoenix to finish.
Yeah, and there's just not much they can do to get out on the map right now. It looks like they're going to try to come around.
They're trying to do
possibly
a
flank here from behind. They're going to bump into Illidan first. So Arthas active. Well, hold up. Arthas actually get the focus of this initial fight here as they start to try to press forward. As Leoric, remember, with Leoric's heroic, he can really do a ton of damage in that little narrow lane like that.
Indeed he can. We haven't really seen much of it yet, but right now we do have Murden taking a lot of damage. Gets healed there. Wow, a really clutch heal there by Meridan on Rhaegar, trying to save him.
Really nice Phoenix there. Causing a real headache for him trying to go over there. A nice job with the Kayle Dot dealing the damage.
Really well done, putting a lot of damage on this team. They have got to retreat from this area right now.
That was some incredible maneuvering. They were right there. Joker was trying to flank them. They actually all rotated around beautifully. Had Leoric come in there, dish out most of the damage, while Kel'Thas came around there, laid out a beautiful amount of damage, and they had no choice but to turn around and back up. And we're actually already, I feel like the tributes are coming faster and faster, even though they're actually not. It's just spawning right there because those battles are going on for so long.
Certainly, and look, they just got another keep. They have killed 2 keeps at this point. It is gigantic. They're even going after a boss right now, which, I don't know, that might be a little bit foolhardy. They do back up as this tribute spawn. They know their opponents are coming into the area, and it looks like they just want to give it up.
Yeah, I think this is totally fine. I think that when you're winning like this,
yeah,
especially in Heroes of the Storm, especially in the later part of the game, don't take a crazy risk unless you have to take that risk to win.
Yeah.
Don't get too cocky. Anybody who's played on Heroes of the Storm has experienced this where you say, oh man, we're owning so hard. No, you know what? Take all the mercs on their side too. And sometimes they can cost you the game.
Oh, Leoric tried to stand on boss there, but now he's just massively out of position. He messed up a little bit, and it looks like immediately Illidan's targeted all the way down. A nice heal does go down on Muradin. Rhaegar right now taking a lot of damage, trying to help Kel'Thas get out, but I don't think he's going to make it.
And this is the kind of risk that I was saying just a second ago. You got to be careful about something like that, trying to dive in a moment like that. They backed up. It was understandable they're going to take the boss. It's understandable they would try to contest the boss, but to try to some extent, steal or overextend
it was optimistic to say the least.
Yeah, and now they're being punished for it. Leoric's going to be picked up.
Yeah, look at this. Only Leoric and Rhaegar actually left over right now. You know, they've lost quite a few heroes here, only taking out Uther, who helped out quite a bit after his death even. Still going after Rhaegar at the moment.
Tribute spawning now. Now remember, Joker got that last one. This, if they get it, it will curse the other team.
Oh, not quite. Nice try there by Tyrael, but Rhaegar does get away. In the meantime, MVP does have to clear this boss. And the tribute.
Look at this. Joker's going to go for the boss here.
Wow. Well, you know what? You got to take risks.
Well, sometimes you take a boss on one side of the map. If things are going correctly, you just take the boss on the other side of the map. Because what happens when you take the boss? Well, they have to defend it. So that means you can do what? You can go for the other boss on that other side of the map. But
well, they got the Curster and all this as well. But it looks like MVP Black is going to fight for this boss. The boss is going down. They've got to stand on that capture point. We do have one player from each team on it right now. Leoric just standing there next to her. There's a lot of damage. We do see the haymaker. Oh! The haymaker. They are coming out. An amazing boss steal there from Muradin.
Unbelievable. Illidan is not going to try to give up, but he's taken out there by Tyrael.
Wow, and we do see a noob fall as well. MVP pushing them back.
Somewhat of a meaningless curse here. I suppose we should keep an eye on the upper left. Oh, it beat me to it. That was destroyed. They're in the upper left lane. So they have access to the core. But the real story right now is in the pursuit here. Arthas goes down. Tyrael.
Oh, no. Tyrael falls as well. I don't even know if there's any hope left, Ace. There's the 4 down. That is going to be it. MVP Black is going to take the first series in the OGN Heroes of the Storm Super League.
It could have been a different story had the boss not been stolen back, but they managed to do it. The core will go down, and MVP Black with a very convincing 3-0 GG.
Beautifully played there by MVP Black. An amazing jump in from Muradin with that Haymaker. We almost never see anyone take Haymaker as a heroic ability. It's a move that just pushes your opponents out of an area, and he just sniped that boss steal, man. That was fantastic.
I love it. I got to say, Joker, they were doing a good job. Yeah. They were doing a good job. It was actually, it was pretty impressive. Unfortunately, you know, MVP Black was just clutching up. They knew which hero to move in. It's Leoric. Yeah. They knew which hero to...
Well, he can sit there and sustain for a very long time.
Yeah. And then they got Illidan to come around and engage and cut off the southern exit point. So then as they were leaving out there, it wasn't the quickest way to get out.
You know, it was some fantastic plays, no doubt about it. Some great moves. You know, I think one of the big mistakes may have been fighting for too long and allowing that boss to really push in all the way to the keep. The fact that they lost a keep at 10 minutes, that's just too early. There's too much pressure on that lane, and as you said, if they get that boss again, they might be able to win the game, and that's exactly what happened.
Funnily enough, too, we saw a hero die to the boss. It's not the easiest thing to do to get away from the boss. It is pretty tough. But.
No, I mean, it can't happen. The boss deals a lot of damage. This is why you have to be very careful when you take it, because he's going to be really messing with you. You have to use a lot of abilities to kill him. They're all going to be on cooldowns.
Yeah.
If the opponents come in at that time, they're normally going to win the fight.
Yeah, it was a good day today. A one-sided day, but an exciting day because we see how strong MVP Black truly is. And I got to ask myself, how far are these guys going to go?
They might be the world champions in a few months. We don't know. You know, the winner of this league, of course, this is their road to BlizzCon. Whoever wins will be fighting against 7 other of the best teams in the world for a ridiculously large prize pool at BlizzCon later this year.
And I did love what we saw from Joker. They were a good team. It was just a tough matchup.
Yeah, well, guys, we do have another match, of course, coming up on Tuesday. That'll be myself and Tasteless casting Team DK. You guys are going to love them if you are StarCraft fans. It is a team full of StarCraft 2 pro gamers that retired and moved to this game. They'll be going up against Rave, Heroes of the Storm Division.
And after that, we got Snake against Game 8 top. So definitely check that out. We will be casting on Tuesday.
That's right.
And then Wolf and Moonglade will be casting on the other day.
Yes, indeed. On
and by the way, can we just say what a beautiful site this is? What an incredible set they built here at OnGameNet.
Esports is real, my friend. A lot of people out there watching this fantastic series. Sure, it was a little bit one-sided with the 3-0, but just watching what MVP Black is capable of doing, it's downright frightening.
It really is. You see, they know how to keep their head on their shoulders. They know how to keep the lead. When things do fall apart for a second, they know how to recuperate.
Yeah. Well,
it's kind of crazy how long some of these battles do go on in Heroes of the Storm. Now that we're seeing the very best of the best. It looks like, you know, those cartoon fights where it just looks like a cloud of smoke and a fist and a foot coming out.
Sure.
It's like watching that rotate around the map for a little bit. It's pretty wild, and just how long they can all support each other and keep each other alive.
Yeah.
Because it's tough. You know, you got all these different heroes, but all these different maps with different objectives. And I think that really is what distinguishes Heroes of the Storm from any other title, is the fact that each map requires a different way to approach it, requires a different way to view it.
Different heroes are good on different maps in different situations. It's the game is extremely diverse like that, which makes it a lot of fun. It's fresh every time you play it.
Yeah, and it's just the beginning. There's going to be more heroes. There's going to be more maps. So I look forward to it.
That's right. Well, this has been a pretty fantastic day, Tasteless. I've really enjoyed myself. It's hot down here in Busan.
It is really hot. It is very, very hot here in Busan, but it is very beautiful as well.
We should go jump in the ocean. It's like right there.
We're so close. Maybe after the show or two, we'll go hop in there. And guys, thank you so much for joining us here. This is our first time casting Heroes of the Storm in an esports league. We did cast it at ESPN, but this is It's been a little bit, so we're going to continue to be learning more about Heroes of the Storm and learning more about these players as we unfold, each chapter.
Yeah.
And, kind of build more of a story. So this is really exciting for us to be down here.
Yeah, and guys, please help us spread the word about this league. OnGameNet makes some of the best shows there are, and it is going to be an epic league. I hope a lot of people get to tune in, watch it, check out the VODs, because, you're not going to get much better than Korean esports.
No, you're really not. There's great esports all over the world.
I love the fire going in front of you.
Yeah, casting is dangerous, guys.
It's dangerous.
This is a very dangerous job. Anyways, that is going to do it for us here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here, and expect more great things in the future here at OnGameNet with Artosis and myself and everybody else as we wrap up our first day here of the Heroes of the Storm Super League. Any closing thoughts, Artosis?
Thanks for watching, guys.